Welcome everybody to the Multiverse Dungeon Podcast. I am Mike Charlip and I'm here once again with Sean Hicks. After we took a week off for personal reasons, and we're back here and we're gonna talk about a few things. The first thing we're gonna talk about is the highly successful and very, very good movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And a lot of people had mixed feelings about this movie. I had high hopes, and I am happy to say that my high hopes were answered. And this is probably one of the best comic book movies ever made. And there's been a lot of them. There's been a lot of good ones, there's been a lot of bad ones.
Yes.
But this is easily in the top 3 of all-time comic book movies, at least in the last 10 years or so. It is amazing.
Yep. I saw this one in theaters, and I also recently just saw Civil War. So the only official MCU movie I have not seen at this time is Doctor Strange, which I've heard very mixed reviews about. But Guardians of the Galaxy, I've heard a lot of great things about, seeing as how everyone from the original comic book team is now made its movie appearance in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's a select few names that did not show up. I don't know if that's for legal reasons or whatever, but, the plan going forward seems to be including a lot of the original members. Spoilers minus Yondu, because he's gone. And, yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what they're going to do next. I was very, very happy with what they did in this movie. A lot of people were unsure who the main villain was going into it. And I don't want to say surprised. I mean, more so like, I don't know what the word is, but I wasn't really too surprised that Ego ended up being the villain. Because, just the type of character that he's supposed to be. He's
Right.
not really a person. He's a celestial who lives off of energy. So to use his powers to basically destroy the universe so he could live forever. And going a different route with making him Star-Lord's father. I don't know too much about Guardians of the Galaxy, so I can't really say what I know about his real father in the comics, but everything in this movie was just amazing. The only thing that was kind of iffy, but was not bad enough to really make me, care too much about it, was that there was a little too much humor. A lot of the jokes kind of felt out of place at certain points, and I don't know. I mean, there was enough humor for it to work for the movie, but at the same time, a little too much to be, taken seriously. But it all kind of mixed well together, and the movie is amazing.
Right. I mean, like, one of those scenes that, for me, or one of the jokes, I guess you could say, in the movie that wasn't really necessary was Drax's sensitive nipples.
Oh yeah, and they kept going back to that.
Yeah.
3 separate occasions, and it's funny because I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, it was a run-on joke.
Yeah.
It's fine, because movies like this tend to have run-on jokes like this. They kept going back to it, and, at some point, they kind of, closed that out towards the end of the film when he had to put on the spacesuit. And
yeah.
I thought that was interesting that they kept going back to that joke.
Right.
That was one of the things about the movie, because if you remember in the first one, Drax was very closed off and very serious most of the time because he wanted revenge for his fallen family.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, he kind of went away from that and he was like the comic relief for the entire film, which I didn't really think was great for him. Because, he still does have to get revenge for his family, and I'm sure that will happen down the line when they finally do fight Thanos, because everybody's coming together to fight Thanos in Infinity War. It just felt out of place for him to go in a complete 180 from last film to this film, to being more sarcastic, and still not being able to get jokes, but trying to be more funny.
I mean, some of the character works for me. Like, you could tell that Drax's way of, like, communicating and just, like, his overall persona is still very awkward and clashy when it comes to working with Star-Lord and the rest of the crew. Like, he says things that, normally you wouldn't say to people just because he doesn't have that filter. So some of it works. I mean, some of it does seem a little excessive. I do like that scene in the beginning of the film where he tries to kill the creature from inside, but it's just really not working.
Yeah, I mean, that one scene where he's talking to Mantis, and he's like, he's saying to her, like, you're weird like me, and I like that about you. And she's like, oh, I like you too. And he's like, oh, no, I don't like you. I don't like you like that. You're hideous. Like, stuff like that, I thought that was funny, because, like, even Batista has said in interviews that character is not far off to what he is in real life.
What, Drax?
Yeah. Like when it comes to, like, jokes and stuff, he's very, like, he doesn't really get a lot of jokes, apparently. Like, he said that character is very similar to the way he is. But he felt when he originally read the script that the character was being too funny in the film. And,
for the first film or the second film?
This one.
Oh, okay.
This one. And he said that he didn't really get on board with the character change until the table read, when he's sitting with everybody and he's seeing how there's a lot of chemistry between every character and how his character, gelled within the film. And it, like I said, there might be a little too much humor, but it still worked for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, overall, I think that the characters, you got to see a different side of every character. Obviously, with Groot being now reborn from, like, a childhood stage to, like, going back to the adult stage, which you even get to see a little bit of humor with that in an after-credit scene with him and Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, he's starting to grow up and he's like a teenager or whatever. I was laughing at that. That was funny.
Yeah.
And
I love how, even though all he says is "I am Groot," everyone somehow still manages to know what he's saying. And you allude to that with a couple scenes in the movie, like where Rocket's like, "Man, we need to clean your mouth out."
Yeah, because they insinuated that he's like he said we're a freaking team, and then he insinuated that, like, he said we're a fucking team.
Right, like, oh, we did, except he didn't say freaking.
Yeah. I love that, because obviously they can't say that word in a Disney movie. Yeah. I mean, you could say that word in a PG-13 movie, but you can't say it more than once.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny, and another thing I really enjoyed about the film was that this is like the first time, well, this one and the first one, really the only time that any comic book movie has done like an ensemble cast, and nobody got like the shaft when it came to screen time.
Okay.
It seems like in this one and in the first one, everybody seems to get equal amount of screen time, and nobody gets the main focus or gets more screen time, like Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, I'm gonna go back to the film that I recently just said I saw, which was Civil War. That is really down between the split between Captain America and his followers and Iron Man and his followers. So for like Robert Downey Jr. to get a main or a centered role in that kind of film makes sense from the point of view.
Well, yeah, I get that, but it just seems like in every movie where they've done like a team up like that, in both Avengers films and in that one, I mean, in that one less so than the first two Avengers films. In the Avengers films, it just didn't feel like a team movie. It felt like Iron Man fucked up, and he's the problem, and the Avengers gotta fix it.
Yeah.
And he's having a hard time with what he did wrong, or he's having a hard time with this, and everybody else seems to have what they got going on, under control, and he doesn't.
I mean, if I remember correctly, earlier interviews coming on, Robert Downey Jr. thought that a lot of the MCU should be revolved around his character as Iron Man. It seems to be that Marvel is taking that to heart, and they are making his character one of the bigger characters in the franchise, which to me isn't really a problem because of the popularity of the Iron Man character itself.
Well, there was none until these movies.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
Before these movies, Iron Man was a C-list character. Nobody cared about him.
Yeah,
just that Robert Downey Jr. brought him to life, and he was perfect for the role. But I just feel like, especially in the first two Avengers, that he's been focused on more than everybody else, and there hasn't been enough character development for some of the characters.
In Civil War, we got to see that interesting little almost romance or something booming between Vision and Scarlet Witch, which is interesting.
That's nothing new. That stems from the comics. They do get together and all that, which is kind of weird considering in the comics you got a mutant and she's dating an android, but what are you gonna do?
Well, it's not like we haven't seen that before. Like, look at Dragon Ball Z. We got Krillin and androids.
Yeah, well, this is true.
That's the thing with fantasy is you can pretty much put whatever you want together.
As far as licensing goes, you can't call Scarlet Witch a mutant in the films. There's a Fox.
They have co-ownership of the characters, but in the X-Men films are the only ones that are actually allowed to call them
Fox
mutants.
owns the rights to the word mutant, so Marvel's not allowed to say that.
Right. I think she was different or gifted. I forget what she used there.
She was experimented on in this, so they.
Right, her and Quicksilver both.
But we'll see what happens with all the other Marvel stuff. But Guardians of the Galaxy, easily one of the best films out right now. One of the probably top 3 best Marvel Studios films. Everybody had their own thing going on, and everybody got enough screen time to get, a real story out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The villain was amazing, and everything that we have set up in the future for Guardians of the Galaxy and the rest of the Marvel Universe is very exciting to me. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. They're going to introduce Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
He's going to be involved in the next Guardians film.
I was going to say, that was an after-credit scene that a lot of people enjoyed. My boss specifically, he was a big fan of that one.
Well, because we were unsure if he was ever going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
People assumed that he was teased in the first one. And James Gunn has a way of throwing things in and expecting people to find it. And he has said in interviews that he threw the cocoon in the first film to get people talking about the character, but never thought that it would get to a point where they would actually use the character. So he made a completely different one in this film.
Yeah.
Even little things like he threw Howard the Duck in both films.
Yeah.
Little things like that. And even in the credits of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you saw Jeff Goldblum's character from Thor 3, which hasn't even come out yet.
No, but that movie looks really cool.
I'm very excited about this year's Marvel lineup.
Yes.
This film, Guardians 2, which is amazing. We got the new Spider-Man film, which I'm very excited about, because I really want Spider-Man to be good again.
Again, like I said, I liked his involvement in Marvel Civil War as well.
Oh, yeah, his involvement in Civil War was perfect, because it was enough screen time to give you a taste of the new Spider-Man, but you know, it wasn't like he said in that film that he was already Spider-Man for 6 months.
Right.
So it's not like he was like not Spider-Man for for a long time, and he's still learning how to be Spider-Man.
Right.
I mean, yes, he didn't have a real suit, until he met Tony Stark, which is fine. That's fine. He's already got the abilities. Some of his villains, I'm sure, are already established in the world that he is in, and everything that's going to happen in this film, I am very excited about, because, like I said, I don't want another origin story.
No,
we're not getting that.
No, definitely not. But what I am looking forward to seeing is who they'll pick for the main villain. I don't know. I haven't read too much into the film to see if they have a villain set for Homecoming, to see where they're going to go.
It's Vulture.
Oh, it's Vulture? Okay.
Yes, Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, is the main villain.
That should work.
I am very excited about that, because Michael Keaton is amazing. Vulture is a great villain to start off, considering he is Spider-Man's first villain, technically.
Yeah, the MCU seems to be sticking true to most of the comic book storylines.
And, they're also going to throw in some other people, like Shocker is supposed to make an appearance. I don't know how long he's going to be in the film, if he's going to play a big factor as, like, a side villain, or if he's just going to be in the background robbing a bank. I don't know.
Is there any word on who's supposed to play him, if he's supposed to make an appearance, or who's going to play him down the line?
I don't remember the actor's name. There's some new actors that aren't very well known in this film as well.
Okay.
I do not remember the actor's name playing Shocker. I have seen a set photo of him, but off the top of my head cannot remember the name of him. Also, the Tinkerer is going to be making an appearance. He's supposed to be helping Vulture with his technology, because the Tinkerer is, like an evil genius kind of character. So I'm happy that, and they could bring Tinkerer back and use him later on, so that's good. And as for Thor 3,
I can't wait.
That first trailer, oh my god.
I know him! I know him from work!
I mean, it's not even that it was just funny. That trailer was amazing.
You know what I'm looking forward to with Thor Ragnarok? I think seeing Hulk in that armor, it's the closest we're going to get to like a World War Hulk or a Planet Hulk type character, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know how Jeff Goldblum's character found him and all that stuff.
Probably, at the end of, what was it, Avengers 2, we see the Hulk kind of just drifting off on that, on the craft.
Yeah.
So it's very possible. I don't think that he left the planet, but more so maybe that he was abducted. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's possible that he could have just landed in another realm. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So, he had to have landed somewhere. And, then he was just found by, trying to remember Goldblum's character's name. The Grandmaster, he's called.
Okay.
And coincidentally, the Grandmaster is the brother of the Collector.
Oh.
From Guardians 1. And, so that's a cool little tie-in there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I think Hela is going to be the main villain, which is amazing, because Hela is a great villain.
Yeah.
She's the ruler of Hell, with one L.
Yes.
And, Niflheim, So, we'll see. She's, I believe she's Loki's sister, if I'm correct.
I thought it was Loki's mom, but...
Oh, no. I think it's his daughter, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% on that. It's either daughter or sister.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards daughter, I think. But,
I am as well. I am unsure. He is the daughter. I have confirmed.
Okay. I'm assuming you just looked that up.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was some weird, interesting little family tie-in with that. But before we get too off point, I just want to say this is going to be a big. Jeff Goldblum's looking for a big return. He's got The sequel to Jurassic World coming out. He's got Ragnarok coming out. Like he was in Independence Day 2. So he's really branching out now. Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, he's doing these 20-year sequels.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, as long as he's keeping busy, I mean, like before he just had Apartments.com.
He's in commercials.
Yeah, Apartments.com.
He's getting paid. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for everything comic book related this year. Marvel and DC, but we'll talk about DC another time. Wonder Woman is the first DC film coming out this year. It's coming out on June 2nd. I am excited, so we'll see.
I've heard mixed reviews about this film coming out, about them going back and reshooting some of the scenes.
Yeah, like I said, we'll see. I gotta see it. Gotta see it to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But it looks good. And it's got a killer theme song.
Well, yeah, I mean, they usually get their hands on some good...
Wonder Woman first appeared in Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
That song is pretty badass for Wonder Woman, so... But like I said, we'll see with DC going forward. We'll talk about that in the future when that movie comes out.
Yeah.
We'll get a chance to see it. So we'll move on from there. I will say, without giving away too much, I mean, other than spoilers, Yondu is gonna die. It happened. I gave that away earlier. But
I was upset. That made me misty-eyed.
Well, it's okay, because people are petitioning for him to be in the new Mary Poppins now. Like, for Michael Rooker to make a cameo.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Which I would love just for that purpose alone.
Yeah.
But, the movie is amazing. If you haven't seen it, see it. If you have seen it, see it again, because it's amazing.
Yes, it is worth a double watch.
So, moving on from that, we're gonna talk wrestling for the remainder of the show.
Our usual topic for the Multiverse Dungeon.
Well, I mean, it's the go-to thing, really. But
so we have Backlash.
Backlash is this weekend, this Sunday.
Shinsuke Nakamura has been the cover art for the pay-per-view, which I am very thrilled that they're giving Nakamura the recognition he deserves.
It's the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, and I mean, at the moment, I mean, I'm sure they're going to add more, but at the moment, there's only 5 matches announced. So the first match we'll talk about that match: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. You couldn't pick a better opponent for his first main roster match, in my opinion, on the SmackDown roster. You have probably one of the best in-ring workers in years in Dolph Ziggler, who's kind of fallen off the radar these past couple of years. I mean, he was in a world title match last year at SummerSlam, but ever since then, he's kind of been going downward. But this is a great opportunity for him to put on a good match, to make Shinsuke look good, because we know Shinsuke's going to win. It's first televised main roster match. We know he's going to win.
Yeah. But
just put on a good match. I've said it before, there's no reason for Shinsuke Nakamura to make his debut on a SmackDown, and having, somebody like Heath Slater, who's, I mean, actually on Raw now, but I'm just throwing out a random name. No reason for people to job to him. Put him on a big show, promote the show around him, make him, and he'll have an amazing match with whoever it is. And like I said, couldn't pick a better first opponent than Dolph Ziggler. It's going to be a great match, I think. I hope. I haven't seen really Shinsuke have a bad match, really ever. I started watching New Japan like the year before he left, so I kind of had an idea already. But I'm very excited about this match to see how it's gonna go, and like I said, Shinsuke's gonna win.
Probably one of the more I don't know, colorful characters to come up to the roster from NXT. Setting aside, of course, characters such as Finn Balor, who are very colorful. I'm very excited to see what he does main roster wise. I mean, he's had a lot of good feuds or a lot of good matches on NXT, and I'm just glad to see. I'm excited to see how that translates onto the main roster.
See, I don't want to see him. I mean, even though I love the way Finn Balor was handled when he first came up before he got hurt, I don't want to see the same thing. Really, I don't want to see him, have one feud or whatever it is, and then go right to the world title. I want to see him build up to the world title.
And that's what I'm saying.
I want to see, maybe after this go into a U.S. title feud.
Okay.
Because him versus Kevin Owens would be amazing.
That would be amazing. And you and I have both praised SmackDown for being better than Raw when it comes to booking matches versus overall talent.
Yes, very, very much so. I don't see, I feel like him versus AJ is going to be a wait for this one, kind of thing. And they might, I've heard different things. I heard they might wait for, do that at SummerSlam. I've also heard they might do that at Mania. So, if they do it at SummerSlam, it definitely doesn't have to be for a title. That match is big enough to be a co-main event at SummerSlam and have it not be for a title.
Right.
So, going off of that, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the U.S. title basically has been booked like the main event, which is hilarious considering that their world champion is actually on TV.
Yes.
Kevin Owens is doing a great job with the mid-card title after going from Universal Champion, laying down for Goldberg, and he's picked himself back up in a great way. He kayfabe injured Chris Jericho, so he could go on the Fozzy tour, and he hasn't looked back from there. He's working with this Face of America thing, which every foreigner who isn't American who wins the U.S. title pretty much does the same thing, which is kind of getting tired. But he's doing the best of what he has because he is Kevin Owens, and that's what Kevin Owens does.
Yes.
And AJ Styles is just he just needed something to do for right now because he needed to step back from the world title picture for the time being.
Yeah.
I think that whatever they decide to do, whether they put him against Shinsuke at SummerSlam or they put him against Orton at SummerSlam, either way, I think AJ Styles is not going to win this match, but he's going to go on to bigger and better things for sure.
Yeah.
Either way, both guys, no matter who wins, is going to go on to a bigger and better feud. If AJ goes on to face Orton, that will be a great feud that we've never seen before. A feud that we've wanted to see for a long time.
Yes.
And, like I said, he will definitely be facing Shinsuke down the line. Still unsure if that will be at SummerSlam or be at Mania.
Right.
So, either way, I think Kevin Owens will hold on to the title, continue this Face of America thing he's got going on. This match probably, if not Shinsuke's match, this match will probably be the best match of the night. Easily. We've seen Owens versus AJ before, but never on this level. For a title, actually in a legitimate feud. So I'm very excited to see where they go with this.
Myself included.
Okay. Moving on from that, it was kind of out of nowhere. Even though I've been saying for years that they deserve this opportunity, tag team title match. The Usos defending against Breezango.
That is, like I said, this is quite an interesting turn of events. You and I were both hoping that they would utilize Breezango better, and they're taking the Fashion Police gimmick and actually running with it. If you saw the promos that they've been releasing.
Yeah. I've been saying for years since they put these guys together that they have amazing chemistry. They are a great tag team. The name kind of sucks, but ever since they did the brand split, the SmackDown tag team division has been garbage because they've only been focusing on American Alpha and the Usos. Everybody else was being treated like jobbers. And, before Zack Ryder got hurt, he had earned a tag team title match, but that is not going to happen now because apparently the Hype Riders are no more. After he comes back, apparently that tag team is not going to be in existence anymore.
Okay, so they're moving Mojo Rawley onto something else, and Zack Ryder will have to find something else when he comes back.
Yeah, but like I said, for a long time it was just the Usos and American Alpha. Everybody else was being treated like jobber tag teams.
Yeah.
And now SmackDown has a jolt of talent in the division. They've been booking the Ascension a little more better. They don't really come off as a Road Warrior parody anymore, which is what they were kind of at the beginning.
Yeah.
To come into the main roster, the Colognes, like we've said in the past, are getting away from these shitty gimmicks and just being themselves.
Yes.
Kind of working for them. And then we'll have the New Day once Kofi is healed from that ankle surgery.
Yes.
So, SmackDown's tag team division is on the up. And this match, I'm sure, is going to be a great match. The Usos are constant professionals.
Yes.
Tyler Breeze, I can't say enough about how much I like Tyler Breeze from his NXT days, and I always thought, ever since he came up, was not handled correctly, as we've seen, in past weeks when he was dressing up like Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
And Fandango, same thing. We saw his debut match at WrestleMania 29 against Jericho, and he kind of went nowhere from there.
Yeah, he was booked with such great hype, and they really were trying to invest a lot in his character. We were at that WrestleMania to see it live. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. He just fell off the rails at some point.
What happened was he had earned an Intercontinental title opportunity at some point after that. It was actually in June of that year.
Yeah.
And he got hurt. And they gave his push to Curtis Axel. And look what happened. So, Curtis Axel got the title, but he went nowhere with it.
Yeah.
And now he's a jobber. So I'm very happy that they're finally giving this Breezango team the opportunity that they should have got over a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about the match, and I'm going to pick Breezango here. I think that it's time for new blood to get the belt. And I want it. I want it to happen.
I'm liking it. You're liking it, obviously. The way we're perceiving this, I think SmackDown management is going the same direction as what we're thinking. So I'm going to pick Breezango as well.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. The women's match, no title match, is a 6-woman tag. Naomi, the champion, teaming with Charlotte and Becky versus Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina. Like I've said in the past, I don't think it's a very good idea for basically every heel to be in a tag team, considering that there's only 7 women, well, 8 if you include Lana, and Nikki's injured.
Yeah.
Every heel is in a tag team match. They made Charlotte face for this, and which is fine, but I don't know how long that's going to last. It doesn't really work too well for Charlotte to be with with the other two. I mean, yes, she's like best friends with Becky and they teamed in the past, but it just doesn't work. Charlotte was like the top heel on Raw for the last year and a half, and it just doesn't make sense for her to go to the Blue brand and all of a sudden she wants to have friends.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that they want to switch her character to make her face. I mean, I guess that's why having the whole like roster team up against her to try to help strengthen the odds, give Charlotte that extra face push that she needs. I mean, I'm not too, we see this all the time happen where characters flip flop, and Kurt Angle was great for that.
I'm just not too keen on Charlotte going. Charlotte is a natural heel.
Yeah.
She's one of those people. It's very hard to like picture her going the other way.
Yeah.
And I just don't see I mean, even if they win this match, I could totally see Charlotte while their team's hands are getting raised, Charlotte kicks Natalia in the back of the head or something.
All right, I mean
during the celebration, something like that, because I feel like that's the way you have to go.
Yeah.
Charlotte, their team has to win, and then Charlotte has to present her dominance and be like, I want the title. That title's going to be mine at SummerSlam or something like that.
Okay.
Or well, no, the next pay-per-view is what's the next SmackDown pay-per-view? I know there's another one.
I know we got Raw coming up with is it Extreme Rules?
There's another SmackDown pay-per-view before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I just do not remember.
Was it Extreme Rules or was that Raw?
No, that is a Raw pay-per-view. The next SmackDown pay-per-view is it's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. So I could totally see Charlotte going into Money in the Bank, winning, and then at SummerSlam, hopefully having a big match. I would hope maybe a triple threat with Naomi and Becky.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be the best. Or even just a one-on-one match with Becky, because that match would be perfect.
Charlotte and Becky, yeah, that would be a good match. We'd have to have Becky, maybe, I don't know. It would be interesting, have Becky win the title, then have Becky face Charlotte, or something along those lines.
Well, I mean, because if you look at it, these are real life best friends. Same thing with her and Sasha. Charlotte and Sasha are real life, really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they were able to have such a long feud. And to, even though I hated that they were switching the title every 2 weeks or whatever it was, I hope that's not the case here. But I would love to see a straight-up singles feud between Charlotte and Becky.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've seen it in the past where friends in the company, they tend to put on better matches than just, we're going to pair these two together and see how it goes.
It's been like that for the longest time. I mean, Steve Austin and The Rock always had amazing matches. John Cena and Edge always had great matches. John Cena and Randy Orton always had good matches. John Cena and CM Punk always had matches. And the same goes with Charlotte and Sasha, Bayley and Sasha, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Every time you get in the ring with somebody that you have chemistry outside the ring, the chemistry inside the ring seems to skyrocket. And that's why I would love to see Charlotte versus Becky in a one-on-one contest, because we've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time they ever faced each other for a title was the Triple Threat at Mania 32 and the Fatal 4-Way at NXT Unstoppable, I think it was called.
Yeah.
A while ago. So I would love to see them have a singles feud for the title and see where that will go and see the matches that we get out of that.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, this tag team match doesn't really seem to be going anywhere.
No, it's probably just going to be what they're doing for now. Like I said, Carmella, I'm not really a big fan of her in-ring work. I don't think she's that good. Tamina, we haven't really seen what she can do. She's been on injury for a while. I haven't caught SmackDown for the past couple weeks, so I really don't know if they featured her as well. But I really don't.
last week they had a tag team match, 2-on-2, and she didn't wrestle.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, Tamina is really an unknown right now as to what she can do. Carmella, I don't think she's all that great. I've seen her in the ring. I'm just not. I don't think she's there yet.
Carmella is still learning. The reason she got called up is because she's got such good character. She's got good character.
Okay.
She's good with her promos. She's good with her emotion in the ring, but her in-ring work as a whole isn't amazing. She's like she's a little below Alexa Bliss in that case.
I don't know.
Alexa Bliss is not great in the ring, but she's not bad.
Right.
Carmella's like right below her, in my opinion. So, I think it's obvious that Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky are going to win here. Doesn't make much sense for Charlotte to lose this match, or for Naomi to lose this match. Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina kind of just got together for the sole purpose that Charlotte is the new girl.
Yeah.
And it's kind of stupid, and I hope it doesn't last.
No, I'm like I said. I think this feud at Backlash will.
And this week on SmackDown, like at the time of this recording, SmackDown hasn't happened yet. But Rusev is supposed to show up, so who's to say if Lana's going to show up as well?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet.
We see she's supposed to be doing her dancing gimmick.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with her. We don't know if she's a heel. We don't know if she's a face. We don't know what's going to happen with her yet. We haven't seen anything with her in the ring since WrestleMania 32, as we've said in the past. So she's only worked NXT house shows, so we gotta see what happens with her.
Yeah, we've seen vignettes, but we don't know what exactly she's going to do.
We got nothing right now.
I would assume she would be faced with the amount of attention they're trying to generate for her, but other than that, we have nothing to go on.
Well, that and there's just too many heels already.
Yeah.
You can't have Naomi and Becky being the only faces.
And at the moment, Charlotte. But we'll see what happens.
At the moment, Charlotte. So, yeah, I think that Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky will win this match. One match, like I said, not confirmed, but I think it will happen, is Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin.
Okay.
They've been kind of going back and forth the past couple of weeks. Baron Corbin attacked Sami Zayn on Talking Smack. Baron Corbin got kayfabe suspended for that, because he needed time off because he got married.
Oh. Okay.
So they're gonna probably play off of that. Baron Corbin is returning this week. He's facing Randy Orton tonight.
Oh, all right, that's cool.
Well, like I said, time of recording tonight.
Time of recording, yes.
Yeah, but so yeah, Baron Corbin will be back. I think they're gonna continue that feud. Sami Zayn will probably try to get revenge for Baron Corbin trying to attack him. And, taking his spot, or whatever the reasoning for that is.
Right.
But either way, that should be a good match if it does, in fact, happen.
Absolutely. I think Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn are both good in-ring workers. We saw Sami Zayn really have nothing to do on Raw except face Samoa Joe, so it'll be good to see him see what he could do with different opponents here on SmackDown, and I think him versus Baron Corbin has been good so far.
Yeah, and I really hope that they do good with him on SmackDown and give him something.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of everybody treating Sami Zayn like he's this guy who's just here to put people over when he is such a great talent.
Yeah, he should get a U.S. title run, in my opinion.
I think he will down the line. I just don't want them to do Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn again.
Well,
I've seen that for so long.
Yeah.
That I just don't want it anymore. Sure, it would be a great match if it does happen again.
Yes.
Still, just give Sami Zayn someone else. That's why I was kind of unsure, when they originally had the draft, why Baron Corbin didn't win the IC title and keep it on SmackDown. But, we'll see. But I think that match is bound to be official probably on SmackDown this week.
going back to the draft, I thought it was funny when they had them both appear at the same time. You know, when they both got drafted to SmackDown, and then they had them appear in the same promo. It's like, you again! What are you doing here?
Yeah, Kevin Owens is like, you just won't leave me alone.
You know, I'm just, that was funny to see.
Yeah, well, because, again, real life best friends.
And yeah.
The chemistry is off the charts.
Yeah.
Those guys can have a match a billion times and have a good one.
Yeah.
Because they have. Pretty much a billion times. So, we'll see. I'm sure that match is going to be official, like I said, probably this week on SmackDown before Backlash. And, I don't know if they're going to do something with Luke Harper or, just throw in a random pre-show match. We really have no idea. Luke Harper is really doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting. It's very upsetting.
Because he has potential to be really good. I guess they have nothing to do with him now that he's left the Wyatt family.
They could easily just do something with him.
Yeah.
He's so good, but like I said, we'll see in the future. What they do. Going off of that, we'll just talk about the world title match, because, as a whole, like I said, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, not official yet, but that's only 6 matches. So, they gotta put something else together.
Yeah.
Maybe another match between the Colognes and American Alpha. I don't know. But, either way, main event. Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. And, it's been well documented. The only reason that Jinder Mahal got this opportunity is because of TV deal in India.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason, I don't think he's going to win. I think it was just a way to push that TV deal and also to give some new stars some new opportunities, which SmackDown does. I hope the match is going to be good.
Yeah.
And like I said in previous shows, I think the Singh brothers have a better chance of being tag team champions way before Jinder Mahal has any chance of being a WWE champion.
Yeah. Like I stated in past episodes, it really depends on how hard WWE wants to push this TV deal with India. Going forward, I don't know, going win or loss, who goes on to doing what after this. If Jinder Mahal wins, clearly they're going to do a rematch clause with Randy Orton. If Randy Orton wins, I don't know what Jinder Mahal does, what opponent they have lined up next.
Right now I think Rusev is the next in line. Because they've been playing these vignettes of not really vignettes, these recorded videos of Rusev in the gym or something, and saying he's I don't want to go to SmackDown, I wanted to stay on Raw. If you want me to stay on SmackDown, you better give me a title match.
Well, does he say world title or just title match? Because he could also go for the U.S. title.
World title.
Okay.
So I think that will be, and as much as people might think that, they were tag team before, Jinder Mahal versus Rusev would make sense, it doesn't, because there's literally no money in that match.
Yeah.
There's $0 in that match. There is no way that you're going to go into Money in the Bank and your main event
it's going to be Jinder Mahal and Rusev.
Jinder Mahal versus Rusev.
Now, like I said, if Jinder Mahal wins, they do with the Randy Orton rematch clause. That's how that's going to work.
Yeah, but I think that they're going to give Rusev this title opportunity, so it would only make sense for him to face Orton, which is another match that we've never seen before.
But I think has potential to be really good.
Exactly.
But then again, I'm a huge Randy Orton fan.
Yeah, I didn't see Rusev winning that match either way, but we'll get to that in the future when and if it's announced for Money in the Bank. But I could totally see I don't really see any chance of Jinder winning this match at all.
Yeah.
So Randy Orton, I don't see it being a squash by any means, because Jinder Mahal put up a fight against Finn Balor. and almost gave him a concussion.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we also see the Singh brothers playing a role in this match in some shape or form, because they don't seem to leave Jinder Mahal's side ever.
yeah, well, because they're playing up this India anti-American gimmick again.
Yeah, every foreigner faction gets the anti-American.
And he's got his own edgeheads kind of deal, and all that, but I don't see it having the same result. So yeah, Randy Orton most probably gonna win here and go on to Money in the Bank and defend again. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's Backlash this Sunday. The card has great potential, minus that women's tag match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good one. And so going off of that, we'll next week we'll probably talk about anything big that happens on the show. We probably won't do a full review. I don't know. It depends on what's happening next week.
Yeah, I mean, we already have other topics lined up for next week, so we'll probably do a rundown of the most important spots or events that happened in this pay-per-view, and we'll talk to you guys again next week.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't have a lot of time. I wanted to talk about Braun Strowman, but we'll talk about that in greater detail next week.
I mean, we only have we're about 52 minutes in. We could throw that in if you wanted to, real quick.
Well, I mean, I just don't. I wanna have a lot of time to talk about that.
All right, so we'll throw Braun Strowman on next week's show.
Yeah. And we'll call it here.
Okay.
And next week we're gonna talk about Injustice 2, which dropped this week.
Mm-hmm.
I had planned to talk about that earlier, but like I said, other things got in the way of that. We will talk about it next week, and that is it. So follow the show on Twitter at MVD_podcast. Like the Facebook page, which is on the Twitter page. Like, share, and subscribe. Look out for new content by both of us. I plan to do something with probably the story mode of Injustice 2. Probably put it on the channel. If I can see what I can do with that. Yep. And MJC TV will return eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Just have not had the time to plan that out.
Yep.
So.
And Hicks Flick should be returning soon to talk about a little topic known as Dead Space. So stay tuned as we have much more content lined up for you guys, the viewers.
Alright, so that is it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and that is it.